The poetry of Lee Chang-dong. Four films. Filmmaker, playwright, and novelist Lee Chang-dong is one of South Korea's most celebrated artists, as well as one of its harshest critics. Newly restored in 4K, this collection of four of his early works reveals the poetic origins of a cinematic career that is uniquely marked by a fascination with pain and longing. In his directorial debut, Green Fish 1997, Lee uses the conventions of film noir to explore the story of a young man who becomes ensnared in a dangerous love triangle with the girlfriend of his employer, a local mob boss. Opening on a shocking scene of implied suicide, Lee's sophomore feature Peppermint Candy 1999 proceeds to move backward in time, revealing the unhappiness of its protagonist in reverse chronology. In Oasis 2002, two societal outcasts become unlikely soulmates when an irresponsible ex-con befriends a woman with severe cerebral palsy. Following a matriarch who finds her capacity as a caregiver threatened by Alzheimer's disease, Poetry 2010 features a Cannes Award-winning screenplay by Lee and an achingly vulnerable performance by legendary actress Yoon Jung-hee in a role he specifically penned for her. Directed by Lee Chang-dong. Starring Yoon Jung-hee, Lee David, Kim Hira, Sol Kyung-gu, Moon So-ri, Han Suk-kyu, Shim Hae-jin, Moon Sung-kyun, Moo Kyon Cha, Song Kang-ho. Release years 1997 to 2010, combined runtime 514 minutes. Special features. English subtitles. Oasis. Lee Chang-dong intro. Making of. Cast and crew interviews. Oasis preview screening. Oasis trailer. Peppermint Candy. Lee Chang-dong intro. Making of. Auditions. Outtakes. Peppermint Candy trailer. Poetry. Lee Chang-dong intro. Making of. Actor An Na-sang interview. Poetry trailer. Green Fish. Lee Chang-dong intro. James Marsh Pierce Conran commentary. Making of. Production announcement. Green Fish trailer. Sweet Substitute. From art house to CanExploitation, Canadian International Pictures CIPs devoted to resurrecting vital, distinctive, and overlooked triumphs of Canadian cinema. This label is focused on the country's original cinematic boom years spanning the 60s, 70s, and 80s, occasionally venturing past that period in the country's borders to highlight the films of Canada's most inspired actors and filmmakers. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing SIP's brand new line of home video releases. Busy navigating his final year of high school, brainy aspiring teacher Tom is determined to land an elusive scholarship, but his hard work is constantly interrupted by his real obsession pursuing the opposite sex. Before long, he develops a romance with former classmate Elaine, who persistently declines his sexual advances. This inspires Tom to consider other options, including his good-natured study buddy Kathy. But when they take their friendship to the next level, shocking complications threaten to derail Tom's future, inspiring his friends to take drastic action. In the wake of the bitter ash and the censorship battles it inspired, director Larry Kent returned with this more playful but no less provocative sophomore effort. An intoxicating blend of carefree sex comedy and unsparing coming-of-age drama, Sweet Substitute plays like a hedonistic reimagining of the same year's Nobody Waved Goodbye aimed at the exploitation film market. A surprise success in the US. Under the title Caressed, it set the stage for Kent's next leap forward with When Tomorrow Dies, the third and final entry in his celebrated Vancouver trilogy. Directed by Larry Kent. Starring Robert Howe, Angela Gann, Carol Pastinsky, Lanny Beckman, Robert Silverman. Release 1964, running time 86 minutes. Special features including newly scanned and restored in 4K from the original 16mm AB camera negatives by Canadian International Pictures with sound transferred from the original 16mm magnetic final mix. New audio commentary featuring Paul Korup of CanExploitation.com and film historian Jason Pikonsky. Archival audio commentary featuring film professor David Douglas. New introduction to Sweet Substitute by Larry Kent. Sweet and Sour new interview with Kent. Not quite liberated new interview with Douglas, new audio interview with actor Lanny Beckman. The Caressed cut all the material added to the American release of Sweet Substitute, including the notorious striptease sequence, Fantasia artist talk conversation with Kent moderated by Douglas. Archival audio interview with Kent, booklet featuring a new motion picture Purgatory comic strip by Rick Trembles, and an interview with graphic artist Sonja Arntzen, reversible cover artwork, English SDH subtitles, T-blockers. Dark Star Pictures is a new age North American distribution company focused on bringing unique and targeted content to audiences across the country and is committed to releasing auteur-driven, original cinema in the theatrical, digital, and home video space. In partnership with OCN Distribution, new Dark Star titles along with celebrated features in their back catalog will receive features-packed Blu-ray editions that will maintain the OCN standard of quality and Dark Star's deft curation. In small town Australia, a nightmare is brewing. Sophie is a young filmmaker obsessed with finding a thought-to-be long-lost film. Meanwhile, an earthquake unleashes ancient parasites in the area that thrive on hatred, causing outbursts of violence. Now Sophie and her friends, struggling with dating and their undesirable jobs, must also face off against an ancient evil that spreads like wildfire. Directed by Alice Mayo McKay. Starring Lauren Last, Louis Dawson, Joe Romeo, Chris Asimos, John Aiton Kent, Stanley Browning, Louis Dawson, Lisa Fonto. Release year 2023, runtime 74 minutes. Special features including bonus feature film Bad Girl Boogie with optional commentary, conversation with director Alice Mayo McKay, short films, trailers, English SDH subtitles, Super Soul Brother, and the films of Rene Martinez Jr. The American Genre Film Archive AGFA represents the world's largest theatrical catalog of exploitation cinema. Their home video line presents a diverse selection of movies, ranging from new preservations of classics from the vast library of something weird to the wildest in shot-on-video SOV titles. Vinegar Syndrome sister company OCN Distribution is thrilled to be representing this diverse and unique home video line. Let's Get Wild, Super Soul Brother, and the films of Rene Martinez Jr. collects the anti-dimensional filmography of enigmatic Miami-based DIY filmmaker Martinez for the first time on home video. In Super Soul Brother 1978, naive Bueno Steve is injected with a serum that gives him superhuman strength, a catchphrase when wild, and a quest to battle the mad scientists and crooks who made it all possible. The Guy from Harlem 1977 finds gritty private investigator Al Connors locked in mortal combat with crime kingpin Big Daddy in an explosion of cocaine, kung fu, and funk jams. Finally, Road of Death 1973 follows local rockers, the Joe Banana Band, and friends including Carol Connors and Jack Birch, future parents of Thora Ghost World. Birch, as they seek revenge against a biker gang for their hideous crimes, complete with a shocking climax that predicts the final scene in Quentin Tarantino's Death Proof. Only in Florida. Directed by Rene Martinez, Jr. Starring Wildman Steve Gallen. Release years 1973 to 1978. Special features including Super Soul Brother preserved from AGFA's 35mm theatrical print, the only known elements in existence, The Guy from Harlem preserved from AGFA's 35mm theatrical print, Road of Death preserved from Something Weird CM theatrical print, Them theatrical print, the only known elements in existence, photo gallery, Wild 35mm trailer reel from the AGFA vaults, English SDH subtitles. Sky Pirates! Umbrella Entertainment has been a 100% Australian-owned and operated distributor for over 20 years. Their vast home entertainment catalog features an extensive range of Australian classic, cult, and exploitation films restored under the eyes of the original filmmakers, all sourced from national archives, underground collectors, and local basements. In the wake of the success of Raiders of the Lost Ark, Maverick exploitation auteurs John Lummond and Colin Eggleston joined forces on this breezy, tongue-in-cheek, thrill-a-minute big-screen epic inspired by their love of Republic Pictures cliffhanger serials. Boasting exotic location work including a climactic showdown filmed on Easter Island and an action-packed, genre-bending plot that includes time warps, UFOs, the Bermuda Triangle, and the Philadelphia Experiment, not to mention an aerial dogfight and a Raiders-style truck chase. Sky Pirates is the ultimate old-fashioned, fast-moving, two-fisted, pulpy B-movie experience. What's not to like? Umbrella Entertainment proudly presents the worldwide high-def debut of this weird and wild exploitation rarity with a new 4K transfer from the original 35mm vault material supervised by cinematographer Gary Wapshot. John Hargreaves is a wisecracking pilot with an addiction for adventure. He teams up with the feisty daughter of a kidnapped clergyman and they hot-footed across the globe to rescue her father and locate the separated pieces of a powerful mystical tablet. In pursuit is arch-villain Savage hell-bent on getting his mitts on the ultimate power. Directed by Colin Eggleston. Starring Bill Hunter, John Hargreaves, Max Phipps, Meredith Phillips. Release year 1986, runtime 85 minutes. Audio commentary with producer Michael Hirsch, cinematographer Gary Wapshott, script supervisor Jenny Tosi, and stills photographer David Parker, moderated by filmmaker Mark Hartley. Extended Not Quite Hollywood interviews with writer-producer John Lamond and cinematographer Gary Wapshott. Deleted and extended scenes. VFX test footage with commentary by visual effects supervisor Dennis Nicholson. VFX breakdown featurette. Film Buffs forecast tribute to John Lamond with Michael Hirsch, Alan Finney, Paul Harris, and Mark Hartley. Indiana Clones trailer reel. Colin Eggleston trailer reel. Extensive stills and poster gallery. Original theatrical trailer. English SDH subtitles. SEPA, Our Lord of Miracles. Decalogue is a film and soundtrack distribution company dedicated to the release of the most unique filmmaking voices and musical scores from around the world. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing this diverse and unique home video line. Nuestro Señor de los Milagros, Our Lord of the Miracles, is the name of a swamp-glittering prison colony in the remote Peruvian jungle on the Rio Sepa. This is the dumping ground where the worst prisons in the country send their toughest of the tough. A bizarre island of freedom where tragedy and absurdity create a close-in world seemingly invented from feverish dreams. Here are murderers who survived the taking of hostages and the subsequent massacre at Lurigancho prison documented in the film, and prisoners who have done 8 years extra time simply because their release papers were lost. There is one who fought his way from the highlands on foot, taking weeks to get here to serve his sentence. There is also a headhunter, a drug boss, and El Invisible, the Invisible One. The 65-year-old, half-deaf prison director, Don Elias, in tropical clothing and wearing a straw hat, calls them all Miss Angelitos, my little angels. Having languished in a closet for more than 30 years, this newly rediscovered film is a unique documentary record of a bold and troubling experiment in criminal justice, a collaboration in between Walter Saxer, the producer of Werner Herzog's Fitzcarraldo, and the Peruvian Nobel laureate Mario Vargas Llosa. SEPA, Our Lord of Miracles, observes an open-air penal colony of the same name, created in 1951 by the Peruvian government in the Amazonian jungle. Tasked with growing crops on these colonized lands, the inmates were permitted to roam freely, commune with their families, and dance and cook together, yet they soon found themselves in despair, abandoned and forgotten by their country and the world at large. Restored in 4K by Cinematheque Suisse and Cineca di Bologna in collaboration with the Ministerio de Cultura del Peru at the El Imagine Ritrovata Laboratory, starting from the original 16mm camera negative and the sound preserved at Yakumama Films. It's directed by Walter Saxer. Starring Mario Vargas Llosa, narrator. Release year 1987, runtime 79 minutes. Special features. 2 audience question and answers with filmmaker Walter Saxer and daughter Michaela Saxer at Metrograph, New York, October 2022. New interview with filmmaker Walter Saxer recorded at Casa Fitzcarraldo, Iquitos, Peru. Theatrical trailer. Booklet introduction by Werner Herzog. Booklet essay by Michaela Saxer. English subtitles. Scarlet Diva. Founded in 2002 as one of the first ever subscription film services with its DVD of the Month Film Club, Film Movement is now a North American distributor of award-winning independent and foreign films based in New York City. In 2015, Film Movement launched the reissue label Film Movement Classics, featuring new restorations released theatrically as well as on home video, with an emphasis on films by auteur directors such as Eric Romer, Peter Greenaway, and Takeshi Kitano. In her stunning, semi-autobiographical directorial feature debut, Asia Argento plays Ana Batista, a rising young actress who, despite her popularity and success, experiences despair and degradation at the hands of an abusive industry. Her harrowing journey towards redemption leads her on a sordid spree of excess across America and Europe while trying to recapture her innocence and find true love. Newly restored in HD, Scarlet Diva has been rediscovered by audiences and critics alike in the wake of the Time's Up movement for its full-throated rage against the international filmmaking machine, and is credited as perhaps the earliest #MeToo film. It's directed by Asia Argento. Starring Asia Argento. Release year 2000, running time 91 minutes. Special features. 2 audio commentaries by Asia Argento, the original commentary from 2002, and a new commentary recorded exclusively for the 2018 re-release. Looking into the Eye of the Cyclops featurette with Joe Coleman. Asia Argento interview. The Making of Scarlet Diva featurette. 2018 theatrical trailer and original theatrical release promos. English subtitles. Our World is Drowning and Going to Hell, the Underground Films of Richard Baylor. Saturn's Core Audio Video is a New Jersey-based home video label devoted to releasing underground oddities and shot-on-video cinema on VHS, and now Blu-ray discs. In partnership with OCN Distribution, Saturn's Core will exhume forgotten or underseen genre cinema from the 80s and 90s, with an emphasis on Salvi horror features. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing this diverse and unique home video line. Exploring themes of isolation, suicide, voyeurism, murder, sexual aberrations, and the condemnation of organized religion. UK-based filmmaker and provocateur Richard Baylor sent shockwaves throughout the repressive and censorious 90s British film scene with his subversive and button-pushing underground video works, drawing inspiration from the short and shocking films of Richard Kern, Nick Zedd, and their contemporaries from New York's cinema of transgression scene. Baylor became an honorary member of the movement by creating similarly insurgent works on video in his native Ipswich, England, culling collaborators from the local punk rock and industrial noise communities and employing acting performances and soundtrack contributions from members of Extreme Noise Terror, White Slug, and Optimum Wound Profile. After decades in the ether, Saturn's Core is proud to finally unleash the complete works of Richard Baylor. Preserved and presented under the supervision of Baylor himself and marking their disc debut and long-awaited return to physical media since the tape trading and mail-order VHS days of the 1990s. The collection combines early unseen work, Baylor's award-winning video anthologies, and culminates with his magnum opus, the notorious serial killer Rumination Cercium Delectus, inspired by the real-life case of California's Sunset Strip killers Doug Clark and Carol Bundy. Accompanied by hours of special features, audio commentaries, a new 45-minute documentary, and a 28-page booklet, Our World is Drowning and Going to Hell. The Underground Films of Richard Baylor is the ultimate descent into the disturbing milieu of one of the 90s most provocative and formerly uncharted video agitators. Directed by Richard Baylor. Starring Lisa Correll, Richard Munn, Annette Ridgewell, Richard Baylor, Case Harding, Sophie Baylor. Release years 1989 to 1993, running time 114 minutes. Special features. Region-free Blu-ray. Audio commentary throughout the entire Richard Baylor filmography by film writer-publisher David Flint. Audio commentary on Cercium Delectus by film writer Heather Drain. Staring into the Abyss, a new 2024 retrospective documentary featuring interviews with filmmaker Richard Baylor and collaborators Sophie Baylor, Lisa Correll, Jason Whitaker, Richard Munn. Music video collection featuring clips from Extreme Noise Terror, Earth Motherfucker, The Brackish Edge, The Brothers of Hope and Despair. Sins of the Flesh, a 28-page booklet featuring writings by David Flint, Heather Drain, Ross Snyder, Hugh Gallagher, Vincent Albarano. English SDH subtitles. Omen? Utopia is a film acquisition, sales, and technology company with a filmmaker-first approach. Utopia focuses on creating new revenue and monetization opportunities, improving the direct-to-consumer experience, and helping filmmakers maintain a global presence. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing Utopia's brand new line of home video releases. Following Coffey's return to his birthplace after he has been ostracized by his family, Omen explores the weight of beliefs on one's destiny through 4 characters accused of being witches and sorcerers, all of them intertwined and guiding each other into the phantasmagoria of Africa. Directed by Balogi. Starring Mark Zinga, Lucy DeBay, Eliane Umuhire, Yves Marina Nahua, Marcel Otet Cabella. Release year 2023, runtime 91 minutes. Special features. BTS Stills Gallery. Stills Gallery. Balogi short film Infinite Trolling. Balogi short film Zombie. Balogi short film Peau de Chagrin. English subtitles. El Innocente. Gabriel D'Annunzio's passionate novel is brought to life in the final masterpiece from acclaimed director Luchino Visconti. In late 19th century Italy, Tullio, an insatiable aristocrat, grows bored with his timid wife Giuliana and neglects her for his more exciting mistress, the wealthy widow Countess Teresa Raffo. After learning that Giuliana is having a torrid affair of her own, he becomes tormented by her infidelity and descends into madness. Directed by Luchino Visconti. starring Giancarlo Giannini, Laura Antonelli, Jennifer O'Neill. Release year 1976, runtime 129 minutes. Special features: Reframing El Innocente video essay by author Ivo Blom. Booklet with a new essay by author Dan Callahan. English subtitles: I Am a Sex Addict. Factory 25, a Brooklyn-based independent film distribution company, was founded in 2009 by Matt Grady. F25 is a home for conceptually provocative narratives and documentaries. Its mission is to deliver specialized film and music titles in an aesthetically captivating way while exposing the indie world to under-the-radar films, music, and other curiosities in various ways and formats: theatrically, digitally, on TV, VOD, VO subscription, limited edition DVDs, Blu-rays, books, and vinyl. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing this diverse and unique home video line. On the eve of his third marriage, Kaveh Zahedi tells the story of how his attraction to prostitutes and his compulsive honesty combined to destroy each of his past relationships. The genre-bending mix of camera address, reenactment, and home movie footage make for a strikingly funny and original film. Directed by Kaveh Zahedi. Starring Kaveh Zahedi, Rebecca Lord, Lindsay T. Gian. Release year 2005, runtime 99 minutes. Special features: Tripping with Kaveh short film with Will Oldham. Deleted scenes. Animated short film Unmaking of I Am a Sex Addict. Zahedi's acceptance speech at the Gotham Awards. 32-page booklet with essays from Kaveh Zahedi, Kathy Joyce in conversations with Kaveh and Andrew Bujalski, and Kaveh and Lily Lady. English subtitles: Hey guys, Mary here. I have seen a couple of comments asking why I am using AI for the voiceovers for my videos. It's mostly because I am not very good at reading scripts and I really don't like my voice at all. Some have said it was sexy, but I beg to differ. So I am very self-conscious about my voice, but if some viewers like it, I can try and narrate some of the videos instead of an AI voice. Called one of the best streaming services in the world by RogerEbert.com and described by Thrillist as pretty much everything a horror fan could want, Shudder is a premium streaming service offering the best selection of horror, thriller, and supernatural movies, series, and specials. A Wounded Fawn. Meredith Tanning, a local museum curator, is dipping her toe back into the dating pool, only to be targeted by a charming serial killer. When a fateful romantic getaway between the two becomes a tense game of cat and mouse, both must confront the madness within him. Directed by Travis Stevens. Starring Sarah Lind, Josh Rubin, Malin Barr. 2022. 91 min. Additional info: Conversations, interviews with sculptor Charlie Becker, composer Vaal, makeup artist Ashley Thomas, and makeup effects designer Dan Martin. On-set actors, costumer interviews. Coaxial short film by Travis Stevens. Booklet with essay by film critic Sabina Stent. English SDH subtitles. A Heart of Love. Yellow Veil Pictures is a New York City and Los Angeles-based film sales and distribution company focusing exclusively on boundary-pushing genre cinema, seeking to highlight filmmakers who exist on the cusp of commercial and art house cinema. Inspired by the lives of Warsaw-based artists Wojciech Bukowski and Zuzanna Bartosek, two emblematic figures of the contemporary art scene, this romance examines the relationship between narcissism and love. It's directed by Lukas Ronduda. Starring Justina Wusiluska, Jacek Ponidzialek, Magdalena Sieleka. Release year 2017, running time 78 minutes. Special features: Introduction from director Lukas Ronduda. Commentary from director Lukas Ronduda. Polish artist Wojciech Bukowski work. Analysis 1 and 2. Sound of My Soul. Construction of a Day. Times. Waiting and Remembering. Finding Oneself 2013. In the Interval of Remembering. Standby Map! The Big Wanting Pressure on the Weave. Wojciech Bukowski Early Animation Spoken Movies 1 to 6. English subtitles. A Fat Wreck the Punk Umentary. ETR Media is the brand new film distribution arm of Enjoy the Ride Records, a Long Island-based record label specializing in cult-following reissues through a variety of genres. ETR Media releases will adhere to the same quality standards as fans have come to associate with their lavish LP reissues. Vinegar Syndrome's sister company, OCN Distribution, is thrilled to be representing this new and unique home video line. Fat Wreck Chords. The influential music label proud to say they've spent the past 25 years ruining punk rock. Fat Wreck tells the story of founders Fat Mike of the legendary punk band NOFX and his ex-wife Erin Kelly Burkett, spanning the birth, growth, struggles, and survival of the Fat Wreck Chords label. Half inspirational story of chosen family and community, half debauchery and occasionally involuntary drug use. Fat Wreck blazes exciting new ground in the cinematic genre of puppet-driven punk rock music documentary filmmaking. If you only see one film featuring a dominatrix spanking a puppet in your lifetime, make it Fat Wreck. Directed by Sean Michael Colon. Starring Fat Mike Burkett, Aaron Burkett, Chris Shiflett, Joe Sib, Ryan Green, Joey Cape, Laura Jane Grace, Tim Mellerash, Sharath, Trevor Keith, Chris Hanna, Jim Lindberg, Jay Bentley, Mike Herrera, Axel Kurth, Kevin Lyman. Release year 2024, running time 88 minutes. Special features. A little bit fatter bonus fat. Fatties, the Fat Wreck Chords subculture. A Fat Wreck in the making. 20 hours to get rad. Full first Fat Mike interview. Full second Mike interview. Full Aaron Burkett interview. All the puppets extended and cut puppet scenes. Bonus Fat. A new Fatty 2024. English, SDH, French, Spanish, German subtitles.